Hey guys, what's up? Tamara here. Today I'm going to be reviewing World After by Susan E. This is the second book in the Penryn and End of Days trilogy. This book was very good. It picked up right where Angelfall left off. We find Penryn still in her paralyzed state from being stung by the scorpion thingamabobby, and she is in the truck leaving the disaster area where the area was blown up. Her mother and her sister are with her and they are off to the camp. Now with this installment, unlike Angelfall, I do feel like this was a little slower pace. I really wanted something that was breakneck pace, really fast from beginning to end. Now with that said, I still enjoyed it immensely. I feel like that was pretty much the only low point that I had, is that there were pockets where it was a little bit slower. Now, E did a wonderful job with continuity between the last book and this book. Her world building was on point. All her characters and, the goriness of what she was just, trying to express to us was still coming through very clearly in this book. So it was really a dark story. Now, on the flip side of that, her characters are hilarious. Like Penryn and Raffe, those two, they have this comic relief going on. Their interaction between each other is so comical, and it really brings down the seriousness of the book. Like if the book is on 10 with drama and scary things and horror, Penryn and Raffe's comedic interaction kind of calms things down a bit so it doesn't seem as dark. Now, staying along the lines of the characters, Penryn has grown more in the short days that they've been apart. I mean, she's really taken on the role of the caretaker even more so. Paige has escaped, for lack of a better word, so she's like now looking for Paige again. So with that, she has her mother to look out for, and she has another survivor of the attack at the area that she is kind of taken under her wing, which she is looking out for her as well. And it is like Penryn is the leader. They follow her, and she has kind of taken on the responsibility of being the point person. At one point in time, they all kind of get captured, and she is the one that leads them to create an escape plan. She motivates them. She tries to get them all rescued. She has become that person. And Raffe has also evolved a little bit. As he has been away from Penryn for a couple of days, he thought she was dead that whole time. Raffe and Penryn aren't together for almost this entire book. I kept waiting for them to, reconnect. And when they did reconnect, it was just magical. And I say that because there was this one point, I feel like, where Raffe totally acknowledged that he cared about her. Cracks in his armor was starting to show. Maybe all that time they spent together and the initial track to the area really made him grow to like her. I mean, it is clear that he believes in her, that he trusts her, that he respects her. And all of that talk, about her being daughter of man, and all that talk about her being human and, kind of downing her for it, all of that aside, you can tell that they like each other and they have this really cute banter between them. Now, does anything happen with them? No, not really. Of course not. That's just would not be in the cards for them, especially since they are two different species essentially. But you root for them anyway. You want them together, and that is a part of this type of young adult format. You really want to root for them amongst all of the deterioration of the world going on. The world is tumbling down around them, and we, the audience, at least I am, I'm rooting for Penryn and Raffe. Even Paige is changed a lot. She is still under the age of 10. Obviously, she's the same age as she was in Angelfall, but she's matured very quickly. You can tell that while she's not all the way there, she has some issues. She's aware of what's going on. She knows what happened to her, and she has her own score to settle. And at the time when it comes down to it, you kind of have this, like, you're rooting for her to do the right thing, and she does. She pulls it off. And you know what? I feel like this is really setting Paige up to be a major contributor in the final book in this trilogy. I feel like she is going to be running this show. Like Penryn, I'm sure she will, you know, she's going to assist, but Paige is the key to shutting this stuff down, and she's going to do it. I do feel like the ending of this book was very, very good. It really set us up for the end, and it gave us some hope as far as our characters are concerned. You start to wonder, well, maybe Penryn and Raffe can be together. I don't know, can they? Maybe Paige might somehow be okay in the end. Will she? I don't know. All those things are questions that need to be answered. Now, as far as World After, answering open questions from Angelfall, E delivered. We got a lot of resolution, we got a lot of explanation, and I was satisfied with it. Like, for example, there were some open questions as to why are the angels doing this? What is their motivation for doing this? Why are they slicing and dicing people and turning them into these things? Why are they feeding humans to these things? All of those, like, Little Shop of Horrors stuff that's going on, that was addressed in this book. And I feel happy that, you know, we know why they were doing that. What's the motivation? And it all ties back to that whole angel politics situation. While I was happy that some of those questions were answered, this did open up new questions, as you would expect it would. So there are a different set of questions that I have, and I am confident with how this book went that End of Days, which is the third book in the trilogy, will answer those. And I suspect that we will get this trilogy wrapped up in a nice little bow, and I'm looking forward to it. So with that said, you guys, I would rate World After 4 out of 5 bookmarks. I really enjoyed it overall. I was excited to read about the characters. I was happy with the character development, the plot progression. I was happy with almost everything about the book. You know, like I mentioned earlier, it was a little bit slow in bits here and there, but it was interesting enough that it didn't come off as boring. So I enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend it. If you've read Angelfall and you enjoyed it, then I would recommend that you pick up World After, especially since the trilogy conclusion is coming out, I think, at the end of next month. So yeah, you guys, have you been reading this trilogy? If you have, please share with me what you thought of World After. And if you haven't, will you be adding this to your TBR list? I'd love to know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy reading. Bye, guys.